Hi, this is Ernie. I'm the guy who had $6 in his checking account to now having millions of dollars. Today, I want to talk about two topics. One is what's going on with our economy, which I'm going to discuss in the latter part of this video. But first one is, what do I do when I only have a little bit of money to invest? Do I just put them into a savings account, hoping that it will, I'll be able to save more and start investing? Which is why I created this thing called Uncle Bert Challenge. So small amount, how do I do it consistently so that I can grow a capital to enough that I'll be able to do option strategy that I've been creating and sharing with, so that you'll be able to generate weekly income to pay your bills or potentially retire like I have in my early 40s. So let's go with the Bert Challenge first. This is my baby account on Robinhood. I've been putting money in there. Let's go to 3 months chart. I've been putting money in there starting February 7th. I keep adding $5 a day. And whatever I save, I put additional money in there. And unfortunately, just like everybody else, all the money that I've saved actually has gone down in value because stock market is not doing well. But I don't want you to get worried, because if you were to zoom out over the next 20 or 30 years, S&P 500 will continue to rise. And let me show you that chart. So here's, let me do this, raise it a little bit. Here's SPY. It's a S&P 500 index fund. Yeah, it's down today. But if you look at 1 year, yeah, it comes down a little bit, but it eventually goes up. Comes down a little, goes up, comes down a little, goes up, comes down a little, and now it's down. But if you look at this 5 years, yeah, it's still up a lot from where it used to be. And if you go to max, yeah, it is up a lot, incredibly a lot. And that tiny little blip that we see is no different than little blip here, tiny little blip here, everywhere. So if you are not disturbed by little blips and continue to invest, this will continue to grow. So please do not be worried. And second part of the video, I want to explain to you why we see a decline in stock market. But for those who have never seen my video, there's no better way to build capital and invest with little money, so that you'll be able to learn how to invest. You'll be able to learn all the lingos, how the market works, how market fluctuates. You'll be able to learn all of that. So please make the commitment so that you'll be able to commit a small amount that gets into SoFi, Robinhood, Fidelity, any brokerage account that you want to use to continue to invest no matter what happens to the market. And then, of course, we need to talk about the market. Why is the market down? What exactly is happening? In my point of view, I think we are creating what we call a manufactured recession. And you might be wondering, why would Donald Trump and Elon doing that? Let me show you why. What are you looking at? This is amount of money every year where our debt is due. Yes. So 2025, we have $9.2 trillion maturing this year. We either have to have $9.2 trillion in cash to pay, or we need to issue bonds to refinance. Yes, you heard me correctly. We don't have that type of money, so we need to refinance our debt. And you might be wondering, so why don't we just refinance it? Do you refinance your mortgage when interest rate is 8%? Or do you refinance them when interest rate is 2%? 2%. Why? Because your monthly mortgage payment will be lower. Amount of interest you'll pay is lower. And it is no different than our government. we want to make sure that interest rate is as low as possible so that we be able to refinance in a better position. So how do you make that happen? Economy has to go into a recession so that Federal Reserve will lower the interest rate low enough, just like 2%, right? Very, very low, maybe 2%, maybe 1%, maybe even lower, so that we refinance our debt to our advantage as much as possible. So if you remember your macroeconomics class, I don't know if you took it in college or undergrad or in high school, one of the big components is consumer spending, and there's government spend. Ilan is taking care of the government spend, eliminating as much spend as possible, so our economy will shrink, so that we get into a recession. And what is the another way? Donald Trump raising tariffs. That's going to increase the price, but because of the increase in price, we're going to spend less money. And as you can see, consumer confidence is low. A lot of these supermarkets are now issuing warnings that people are not buying as much as they used to. So the packagings are getting smaller and smaller. So that will help us get into a recession. But once this is done, what's going to happen or how long it's going to happen? If we do exactly what we plan on doing, which is similar to what Argentina did. Argentina had a little blip with their GDP growth, but after that, they just grew like wildfire. So in my point of view, I think this is a buying opportunity. And because it's a buying opportunity, I am able to buy a lot of stocks or funds at a discount than what I typically could. So I am deploying as much cash as possible to buy what I can. So you have seen funds like SOLX, the semiconductor leverage fund. When it goes down, it hits the bottom. Yeah, I'm going to buy 3x so that I'll be able to benefit from the 3x multiplier. I'm going to do the same thing with a bunch of other things. So do not be alarmed. This is just artificially created recession, and stock market is just responding it accordingly. But this is a buying opportunity I think you should take advantage of. So yes, sometimes it's discouraging to see your account value go down, but don't worry, it will come back up. I think there was somebody from Goldman Sachs who actually put a very high target because they know exactly what we're doing and how we're going to potentially mirror the stock market success that Argentina had. Let me just show you what Argentina did. In 1 year, their stock market grew 55%. I think we might be able to do something similar. For those who actually need the chart to see this, yeah, 55%. 5 years, they were not really doing anything, and then it just took off after President Milei took over and did exactly the same thing what President Trump and Elon are doing at the moment. Anyway, I know this is very controversial. You might not like it. I have family member at FDA who might get affected by it, but I think we're doing the right thing for the sake of the country, whether you like him or not. And I believe financially, those who are continuing to invest, especially in bond funds like the way I have, I think you're going to do really, really well. Please comment, please like, please repost, and send me messages if you have any questions. Hope you enjoy the content, and I'll see you in a little bit.